Hello and welcome, true believers of the Talvar, to the second 10th edition episode of Expanding Empires. So this week we're going to be doing some list reviews, looking at a successful list, and a list that's come up that's going to be played in the next couple of weeks. I'm planning on doing list review episodes every other week, and then some more editorial, I guess, content in between. Partially because there's not too many events going on right now, and also because probably not expecting to see too many well-performing Tau lists, just a couple here and there. There'll probably be some of the big GTs, the really good players are going here and there, but for now we'll just stick to every other week and see how it goes. So to start off with, look at the first list. It's Hunter Siems. Probably pronounced that horrifically, but that is the 6++ way. That's from the Biose Cup GT. He came 4th out of 50. His list, he's got Shadow Sun, he's got Cold Star with 4 Cyclic Iron Blasters. You'll see later on he's just leaning super heavy into the Cyclic Iron Blasters. Go over that bit more on that in a minute. He's got a Marker Drone and a Shield Drone. Nice to make sure all your units have Marker Drones, just so you get the benefit of Marker Lights, Marker Light keyword. Shield Drone, because why not? And Exemplar the Callion to give that one unit a kickstart on the second turn. Okay, we got a Crisis Commando with 4 Cyclic Iron Blasters, Marker Shield, same again, Fireside team, probably to sit on the home objective and not be indirected off. 2 units of 10 breaches with Guardian and Shield Drone, because why not? You get to pretend to be Eldar with your Exarchs with the Shield Drones. We've got 2 Devilfish with SMS and Seeker Missiles. The SMS is a kind of a off-the-wall choice. Personally I prefer the gun drones because then you have an assault gun on Devilfish, so you can advance and still be eligible to shoot and therefore eligible to spot for the breaches that you're dropping off. SMS isn't what you'd normally see, but hey, he did well, so can't complain. We got 2 units of 5 Vespid. They're great for objective-y stuff, as we went over before. They're really quick, they can get around. And we've got 3 stealth suits with Beaker, Marker Drone, Shield Drone, Fusion Blaster. Just whack all the gear on them, they're free. We got 2 units of 3 Crisis suits. They're all in the same 3 Cyclic Iron Blasters, Shield Generators, Shield Drones. And then we've got 3 Broadsides with Heavy Rail Rifle, Seeker Missile, Battlesuit Support System, and 2 Shield Drones. Then we've got a Ghost Keel, the Cyclic Iron Raker, and 2 Infusion Blasters. So, Ghost Keel's there, obviously for doing primary stuff in the midboard, or home objective, depending on what you need. But this list, so overall, Hunter went 4-1. He won against Demons with Be'lakor, he won against Chaos Knights, then he lost 1,000 Suns, then won to regular Knights, and then won again to Chaos Knights. He played the Knights 3 times. So, you know, they're the big boys in the meta right now. Tau, in theory, have good answers for them. Broadsides, they can't hide on most training formats. You just have to get shot by broadsides. You don't really have much of a choice in that matter. And through sheer weight of fire, Cyclic Iron Blasters can do a lot. Cyclic Iron Blasters are the most efficient weapon in all situations when they're overcharged, with the exception of Toughness 3 stuff, the armor stuff like Eldar Guardsmen, that sort of level for units. But it's just pure weight of fire that gets them to kill stuff. Particularly when you have the Exemplar of the Callion, you just throw out a ridiculous number of shots, and you can just bring stuff down that way, which is good when stuff is relying on 5 or 4+ invulnerable save against ranged. So this is, I guess, like you say, this is proof that we can hang with Knights, which I think is kind of a weird spot for Tau in the meta. They do have a good matchup against Knights, probably one of the top 4, top 3, top 2 armies in the game, but they kind of struggle against everything else. So it's kind of a weird dichotomy for them to be in there. But massive congratulations to Hunter doing all of us proud, all of us Tau players proud. I'm super excited to see if we can replicate that more. Super cool. So coming on from lists that have done well to lists we're going to see in the future, I've only got one list, and it's my list. It's the list I'm going to be running for the next couple of weeks for the Index League, 6++ Index League, as well as just a few pickup games and stuff like that. So I've gone for Onvar, similar reasons to the Farsight Marksman, he's just cheaper. Shadow Sun, great buffing piece, good synergies. Cold Star, with the Marker Drone, Shield Drone, there's able to carry on. I've decided to go Plasmas on all my Crisis suits. I'm not a big fan of the Cyclic Iron Blaster overcharge thing. The hazardous, I'm not a fan of the hazardous test. I roll way too many ones. It's not worth risking it for me, and I want the extra range. So I decided to go for the 4 Plasma. Got 10 Breaches in Devilfish, as I said, the Pulse Carbine's on there, so I can advance and spot. 3 Broadside Battlesuits with Heavy Rail Rifle, Seekers, Weapon Support System, Shield Drone, Missile Drone. I want to avoid any like -1 to hits from, you know, stealth or whatever weird abilities people have, or shooting into or out of combat. I want to avoid that as well. Then I got 6 Battlesuits with 3 Plasmas each, Shield Generator, 2 Shield Drones. Again, it's just rate of fire, just 21 plasma shots, double exploding 6s if you spot for them. There's not much that likes that. Up to vehicles, once you get up to vehicles, they start to stop caring a little bit. But up to that point, it's alright. Ghost Kill for primary stuff in midfield. 2 Sky Rays. Big fan of the Sky Rays in the current meta. They're really good into Eldar because almost everything flies. So you get full radius to hit, and that applies to all their guns. The accelerated burst cannons. It'd be really nice if they could take extra seeker missiles, but they can't, unfortunately. But that also applies to Overwatch as well, so just where I use it a lot. To Overwatch with the Sky Ray, you get 6s, exploding 6s with full rerolls on the burst cannons and the seeker missile rays. You just end up getting a lot of hits through that. It ends up being quite an efficient use of an Overwatch. Then we've got 3 inch stealth units at home beacons, Marker Drone, Shield Drone, Fusion Blaster. There's no Vespid in there because I've realised stealth suits are the same points. They get loads more gear, they got better armor save, they got stealth. They do basically the same thing. So I just decided to go for that instead. It seemed like a better use of the points for me personally. So the main thing I want to talk about here is the broadsides. So obviously my list has got broadsides. Hunter's list has broadsides. And a lot of the top players that I've been speaking to have also got broadsides in their lists. I can't share the list with you because it's not public, and it would be pretty bad form of me just to spoil their lists for everyone. But I spoke last week about broadsides not being a particularly great pick because of terrain. On UKTC boards, those big L's with no bases are really bad for them because they can't get around them, and they can't get inside them, they can't go through them, they can't stand on top of them. It's just a huge block for them, and it's a big issue. It's fine against knights because you can just shoot through them, but against everything else, it's really bad. But something to note is the new Games Workshop boards. In the past week, Games Workshop has come up with new terrain sets, and all of their terrain uses area terrain, big bases on it, and they've got a lot of pieces that are less than 2 inches of height, which means any unit can, in the core rules, if a terrain piece is less than 2 inches of height, you can just move over it with no penalty. It's huge for broadsides, that is they can just go into the area terrain, get the benefit, see through stuff, and on those Games Workshop boards you can see 2 or even 3 objectives on some of the maps, and you can just cover everything. So you can just get so much value shooting every turn. If you don't move, which you're freed up to do with that much line of sight, you can be hitting on 2s, rolling 1s with Shadow Sun, wounding on, well, strength 12, so wounding on good, with probably rerolling 1s from the stealth suits. So that makes you super efficient against vehicles and high armor units, your sanguinary guards and stuff like that, and then also toughness 11 monsters and vehicles, your Harrow-Spexes, and sort of medium vehicles. Even against land raiders and the sort, you have so many shots that it's just very efficient. It's not unlikely to get 8-10 hits with a broadside unit. just from the way the for the greater good works and carry on together. It's very strong. That mass devastating was because you're rolling so many hits to wound. Just a high, you can get like 2 or 3 if you're lucky, 6s on your wound rolls, and just do a ton of mortal wounds. Stuff like Terminators, to a lesser extent Custodies, Knights really don't like that. Anything that relies on an invul save, that's really good against, and you're just getting through with weight of fire. But as I said, it is massively terrain dependent. If you're going to be playing on something like a very dense WTC board, like the old style WTC boards, then that's going to be a real struggle to get line of sight. All the UKTC boards, again, you're going to struggle to get line of sight in those ones as well. But if you're playing on Games Workshop boards, or something with a lot of area terrain, they're going to be a lot better. So I'm going to be running a unit of these in the next couple of weeks to try them out, see if I can get good value out of them. I've had one game with them, they did pretty well. Hopefully I can, one game on the new terrain with them, they did pretty well. I'm going to try them out in the Index League this week and see if they continue to do so. And I can report back to you guys next week, where hopefully we can talk about some more learnings, more findings based on more games that go off. So that's all I have for this week. It's a short episode. Just wanted to let you guys know my findings. So until next time, guys. Thank you very much.